So guys, how close are you to this? This is the average of the PGA Tour player. This is how the shoulders really work. Have a look at this. When I draw a line down here through the shoulders at the top of the swing, have a look at that number, 40 degrees or pointing 1 yard over the golf ball. This is the motor. This is the engine of your golf swing. And halfway through the through swing, when we draw a line down, look at the number, 55 degrees or half a yard outside the golf ball. But you know what's really, really remarkable? Is how many of the world's best ever ball strikers are almost identical here. I mean, it's absolutely staggering. And I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, well, how close am I? I mean, if you take 100 great ball strikers, right, 100 really solid ball strikers, and they're all within a couple of degrees of each other, and you're miles away from this, well, then it could be that you're completely wasting your time. I mean, this is the golf swing, right? This is how you swing good. This is the engine. This controls the direction, the path of the golf club, and how you rotate back and forwards. It's how we play. But unfortunately, so many of the amateurs out there, they really don't know much about this area of the golf swing. Now, if you like these guys here, unfortunately, with really flat shoulder planes, like over 90% of amateurs out there, you're going to have to unconsciously tip the right shoulder over, tip it over to get any sort of compression on it. And that compromises your delivery, right? It'll come in steep, it'll come in over the ball. And even if it doesn't do that, there's just so many things that can go wrong because, like I said, it's the engine room, it's the motor of your swing. And if you're not getting it right, look, you just never, ever reach your potential. Now, later in the video, I'm going to show you how to draw these lines with angles because I think that's also really, really important for people to get inside these averages of movement. Now, before we have a look at some incredible drills and how we can feel what these great players are doing, let's firstly have a look at why these top players have this shoulder plane through the golf ball. Guys, check out WorldClassGolf.com, improving people between 4 and 11 shots with their swing analyst training. All right, let's get stuck into it.
So people, why are we seeing the world's best ball strikers steepen or halve this shoulder plane through the golf ball? One of the important messages to get through to everyone here is the combination of tilt and turn needs to be appropriate. What do I mean by that? Well, if we have too much tilt and not enough turn, most likely the club's coming too far from the inside. The middle point of your swing's too far behind the ball. We can hit some fat shots and thin shots. And it starts to look something like this. Now, the other side of the scale is too much turn and not enough tilt. And we see a lot of golfers in this position with their head moving forwards. And generally speaking, for most players, the arms will then come out and they're really hitting the wrong side of the golf ball and not having the best entry. We need to get this combination of tilts and turns correct. The closer you get to this 40-degree angle on the way back and 55, even if you can't, but the closer you get, the better you hit. This video is not just for club players. This video is for advanced players. This video is for everybody. So guys, right, getting the shoulder in the right position. I'm going to show you how to practice it and keep it simple here. So get your reps in. I mean, you got to get your reps in, right? You got to hit a lot of golf balls. Otherwise, you know, there's no magic wand, and jumping from YouTube video to YouTube video can be quite confusing at times. WorldClassGolf.com, evidence-based instruction. Now, guys, have a look at this. We got to, if you imagine if you had lipstick on, you don't want any lipstick on your shirt, right? So when you get to the top, you feel like that, it's just touching your chin and it's not covering your mouth. High left shoulder, high right hip here coming down. We're in all sorts of trouble. So here's how you practice it, all right? Take your address position, get 3 swings, 1, 2, extend that right leg back, 3, all right, and then give it a hit. So people, what a great drill this is. It's simple, it's clear, and we start to copy what the great players are doing, but more importantly, feel what the great players are doing. Now, pop the club on the top of your shoulders, take your address position. Now I've positioned the basket here one yard over the golf ball. So we're going to tilt correctly. Don't forget, for every 2 degrees of turn, there's 1 degree of tilt. When we get up to the top of the swing, we're going to extend this right leg and get the end of this grip to point down towards that basket. Now this creates great structure. It also gets your hips working on the correct plane which stops people from getting stuck, something that's not spoken about enough. Now, what we do from this side, you can use an alignment stick, a golf club. I've just got some white plastic tubing here just to illustrate that a little bit better. We pop this right of the middle of the stance. Take your address position, and we're going to line up this golf club, get it running parallel to the white tubing on the ground. And this really creates great structure in your swing, and it gets you to turn the correct amount, and we start to get things lined up just perfectly. Guys, let's get into some unbelievable drills and feels here moving through the golf ball, and you're starting to copy and feel what the great players are really doing. Stay tuned. You pop the left hand, the lead hand, on the right thigh. Now, when you get into the swing, what we're going to do is we're going to slide the lead hand down the thigh until we get to the knee. Now, if you lift the lead heel just slightly, you'll be able to get deeper, more depth. Why should we keep the left heel on the ground? I mean, we've seen just about every Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, we've seen so many great players lift this lead heel. We're seeing McIlroy, Garcia, we're still seeing 30% of the modern day players doing it. You won't even notice it, you know, if you're getting into this position here, but you'll notice it when you let the heel come up off the ground. You can get better tilts, better turns, depth in your pivot. So guys, right, how are we? Looking around the corner, getting closer to the 55-degree PGA average here. This is a really great picture. I got this off Alex Elliott in the internet. He did a great video, and it really stays in my head. And what it was he was talking about opening up a window, getting your upper body out the window, looking around the corner and reaching to give someone something, or reaching out. Now, what it does is it gives you this high left pec. It almost feels like you could have, or imagine that you have water dripping out from your ear. The reason I like it is it's transferable straight away to the golf course. So you can think that and hit, and it's not disruptive. And this is always a great thing when we have a swing thought. It helps us, because naturally when we turn, for a lot of people, we turn level and we don't turn high, keeping the right side of your face down, left side here up, and you can really hit it harder. And some of the tests that Dr. Neil and I have done in World Class Golf Instruction, picking up speed and distance, especially for a lot of the senior golfers, is turning high. The tendency when we hit it hard is to turn level, and this really helps us to be able to plow through the ball, and it can take the left side out of the golf course. Guys, let's have a look at some feels now and some drills and the ways that we can get ourselves closer to these PGA averages of movement. So guys, let's have a look at this drill here. This is a basic one that supplies some awesome body awareness. So what we're going to do is we're going to tilt left, turn right, tilt right, turn left. Now you can do this without a golf club first. You just tilt to the left, turn to the right, tilt to the right, turn to the left. And this is going to get you in a great position. So guys, right, today I want to talk to you about live view golf. You can draw your lines with angles. I've been showing a lot of people on YouTube the 40-degree shoulder rule, the PGA averages of movement, 55 degrees through the ball, 12 degrees of shaft lean, and you can get in there and get closer to these proven averages of movement. And the closer you get, the better you hit. We know that these days every top player is filming their swings, right? And video really is the best feedback for your golf swing. This thing here is absolutely mind-blowing, really. You can see yourself simultaneously as you're making movements. It works off sound, so you hit a shot, played back automatically. You don't have to touch the screen, hooks up to your iPad and your iPhone, and you can look down at it and stay in posture. Like you can even put the camera or the live view back here, draw a line on your belt buckle to see where that is, have a look at your takeaway, rather than looking in mirrors and trying to get this. This is the best way to train. Guys, it's an absolute no-brainer, and I highly recommend, if you're a dedicated golfer, guys, there's a discount code in the link below. Absolutely incredible training aid. So people, one of the great moves in the golf swing that really helps us get the correct tilts and turn, the lowering of the right side, the shortening of the right side, the extension of the left side. Have a look at this head tilt from McIlroy.
Now this is something I want you to practice here. We're going to get this right side to lower. See how that right eye is lower than the left, the right ear lower than the left. This is the way to create tilt and turn. This is, people, and I want you to try this, one of the magic moves in the golf swing, and yes, you can do it with iron shots as well. Let's get in there now and have a look how we can create this amazing move that assists us with great tilt and great turn.
When we get to the top of the swing and we just simply lower the right eye. So what it does, what it promotes is the lowering of the right shoulder down to the right hip. But because the head's turning, it really promotes that the upper body is turning and out of the way. Now, what you can do, or what you can feel when you get to the top, what you probably feel when you do it, is you'll feel that the club almost lays back a little bit on itself, and you'll feel some pressure on your index finger on this base knuckle. Now, it's so hard to hit it left from here. How good is it? How good is it in golf to plow through a shot and not hit a left? So guys, regardless of your skill level, this next exercise is a belter. It really is fantastic, and it really helps applying us building a feel through the golf ball. Let's have a look at it. We've done it recently on another video, had a lot of questions about it. Lead hand on the golf club, getting yourself in the address position, moving through the golf ball. And what we're doing, what happens is the left side really extends, and it gives us a feeling of coming underneath, although we can be moving forwards. Now we've got 4 to 6, 10 to 15 centimeters of lateral shift with this lead hip. That's the PGA Tour average, thanks to Dr. Robert Neal on World Class Golf Instruction.